Good evening, my dear students and all English literature enthusiasts. Hope you are doing very well. In this video, I'm going to talk about the famous lecture by Swami Vivekananda, The Cosmos, the Macrocosm. In the year 1896, Swamiji was invited to deliver the talk in New York, and the lecture was very famous because Swamiji throughout his life he believed that Vedantic philosophy has a very close reflection or resemblance with the scientific thought, and in the lecture he blended Vedantic philosophy, the core teachings of Vedanta, and at the same time the scientific theories of creation of the universe. So many students when they are going to read the lecture, they sometimes think that too many difficult issues are there, so many difficult philosophical concepts are assembled here, and it becomes a little bit confusing for them because they don't have this kind of exposure to the background of Indic philosophical awareness. So my purpose in this lecture is to focus on the small but significant ideas, so that bit by bit you can understand what are the major areas of focus in the lecture by Swamiji. So Swami Vivekananda, in a nutshell, I'm giving you the summary of the talk very briefly. Swami Vivekananda basically talks about the creation, the diversity, the multifaceted dimension of the creation, and where did it come from? That is the fundamental question that he raises. And in the subsequent parts of the lecture, he has given us very detailed analysis, interpretation of all the answers. Okay, so for the first time, he is talking about the creation, the diversity of the created world, the beauty, the natural beauty. Somewhere we find mountains, somewhere we find the river, beautiful human beings, beautiful birds, beautiful animals. Everything is so beautiful, so vibrant, colorful. At the same time, Swamiji is asking, where did it come from? It means who is the creator, who is the master, who is the artist who has created this beautiful, magnificent version of the universe. So he raises the question that there must be a cause, a subtle form from which or from that cause everything has taken its birth. Therefore, he in the initial segment he gives us the theory of cause and effect. In order to explain the theory of the creation of universe, he has given the theory of cause and effect. He said, nothing can exist, nothing can be created out of nothing. There should be a primal cause, a fundamental cause. From that cause, from that seed, something can germinate, something can take the shape of life. So, he blended here the vision of science and vision of Vedantic philosophy. He said the God is the primal cause. God is the supreme cause, fundamental cause, primal cause. He existed before everything, before the creation of the universe. Many people said that it was darkness. Darkness was prevailing. There was nothing. But Swamiji here rejected the idea, and he said, out of darkness nothing can take place. Nothing can happen out of darkness. God existed before the creation of the vibrant universe as the supreme cause, as the fundamental cause, and he was existing in a very subtle form. So here from cause, from the subtle cause, from the fundamental cause, everything has taken its genesis. Here Swamiji is giving us the Vedantic philosophical idea. Vedanta talks about the same thing. Vedanta actually focusing on the fact that God is the fundamental cause from whom or from him we have taken our births. So we are basically one. There is no division between a God and between the created human beings or the animated or non or inanimate objects of the world. So here Swamiji is linking our close connection with God by saying that we have taken our birth from him and after our death we will return to him. So there is the philosophy of cause and effect. And here what is cause according to Swamiji? In this lecture he said cause is very subtle form. Cause is existing in a very subtle way, in almost invisible way and unmanifested way. So he gives us the example of a seed, gives us the example of sand grain, He also gives us the example of the water vapor. He said the seed is very small, very small. The potential of transforming into a seed is remaining hidden inside a seed. So the seed is very small, very subtle, and almost invisible, but unmanifested. It does not take a very gross shape. So from the seed, over time, a tree will take its birth. So ultimately, what happens? The tree is the seed is the cause, tree is the effect. Tree is the visible manifestation of a seed, and from the seed we are having the tree. So tree is the effect, cause is the seed. Likely, he is giving the example of a raindrop. The sunbeam extracts a raindrop vapor from the water bodies, and ultimately the vapor got transformed into cloud. From cloud we are having rainfalls on earth. So from vapor to raindrop, raindrop to vapor, that is a cyclical journey that always is going on in the nature. From seed to tree, after the death of the tree will leave behind many seeds, so that many trees can take their birth from those seeds. So seed to tree, tree to seed, that is an eternal cycle in nature. Raindrop to vapor, vapor to raindrop, that is also an eternal cycle. He also gives the example of sand and mountain. He said million years ago, initially it was sands. From the sands, due to geographical reaction, geographical reasons, ultimately the Himalayas are there. So ultimately, after million years of destruction, the Himalayas will be transformed into sands again. Therefore, from sand to mountain, mountain to sand, that is once again an eternal cycle which we cannot violate. At the same time, he is also giving another beautiful example. He talks about egg and bird. He said in the egg, the life of a bird is hidden, and from the egg, the bird takes its birth. After the death of the birth, a bird, basically, we are having eggs. From the egg, we can have more birds. So the egg to bird, bird to egg. That is an eternal elemental cycle which we cannot violate. So he said basically in the theory of cause and effect that cause is very subtle, very much invisible, unmanifested in nature, but it is always existing. Without a cause, nothing cannot take shape. And what is the effect? An effect is a very gross, visible, manifested form of the cause. And then he said, cause and effect, there is always a cyclical relationship. Cause and effect both are related to each other in an eternal cycle. Now, next phase, he is developing the idea further by saying that cause and effect, they are not different. Essentially, they are the same thing, only they change their form. So, he wants to mean that an egg and the bird, both are the same. The raindrop and vapor, both are the same. The seed and the tree, both are the same. The sand and the mountain, both are the same. Why? He said, after the cause is taking shape in the effect, after the death of the effect is always returning to cause. So seed to tree, tree to seed, bird to egg, egg to bird. This is the example. And he said why we think an egg is a different object and the bird is altogether different. Why? Because it is Maya. Here he is again applying the Vedantic philosophy. And what is Maya? According to Vedantic philosophy, very simply speaking, Maya means creative illusion. So we think my friend is very different from me, my father is very different from me, my beloved is very different from me, but that is, we are all one, only we are having very different physical shape, but our inner essence is the same. So he said cause and effect both are the same and they are attached to one another through an eternal cycle. We cannot violate that cycle or the circle. Next theory about the creation of the universe he gives us is that theory of involution and theory of evolution. You all know theory of evolution. Theory of evolution is the famous scientific theory provided by Charles Darwin in the year 1859, where Darwin talks about the evolution or the continuous genetic mutation of a species due to environmental changes. Certain types of animals, they're having genetic mutations so that they can adapt with the changing environment. So theory of evolution is one kind of theory that is explaining the birth of a species, the mutation or the gradual development of a species. Here, Swamiji said, I'm not debunking the myth or I'm not debunking the theory of evolution, but at the same time, he is giving us the theory of involution, which is again a spiritual theory to describe, to explain the theory of the universe and its birth. He said, what is involution? Involution means in a subtle form, the cause should get involved in the creative process. Otherwise, there would be no creation, no outcome. So he said the cause is always getting involved into the process of creation in a very subtle manner, in a very unmanifested manner. That is why it is the theory of involution, and here he is giving the responsibility of involving things to God, who is the supreme creator. And the next or the third important theory that he talks about in this essay, whenever you are reading it, you are reading it in the essay form, but originally it was a lecture. Here, he talks about God's unique manifestation. In the latter part of the lecture, he talks about God's unique manifestation. He said God is everywhere. In Indian soil, it is unbelievable to imagine a godless universe. How can we imagine this? Because God is the very fundamental cause of our being. He is the effect of our existence, and after our death, we will return to Him, just like a tree is returning to its seed form immediately after its death. So we human beings will return to God. So there is a continuous cyclical movement between cause and effect and cause. So he said God is very much there. We have taken our birth from Him. He is our Father, He is our Creator, and after our full life cycle, we will return to Him through our death. So our death is not at all a separation from Him. Rather, our death is a happy event that is going to reconnect us with our Creator God. And he said God is everywhere. There is a beautiful poetic passage towards the end part of the lecture where he said he finds the existence of God in the setting sun, in the morning sun, in the sunshine starlight, in the aging man, in the dying man, in the youth, in the audience, in the speaker. So everywhere, the energy, the possibility to do something, the energy, the vivacity, everything that we are having, that is from God only. We don't have anything of our own. So we are basically living in a universe that is structured, designed, planned, and protected by God. And he said God is the supreme intelligence who has always existed before the beginning of creation. So he was the supreme intelligent mind who created, who designed, who planned, and who is protecting our vast created magnificent universe. So in a nutshell, this is the explanation, very simple explanation for your exam purpose. The lecture by Swami Vivekananda, The Cosmos, the Macrocosm. Here, the cosmos means the vast, magnificent universe, and the cosmos is the symbolic meaning of God here. And the microcosm means the very small units, the small atoms, the human beings, animals, animate or inanimate objects of the world. They are all representative of microcosm, and they share an affectionate relationship with the universe, with the greater cosmos. So the small human beings, the animals, the every single particle of the created world, everything is very deeply connected with our creator God. So the cosmos is a reflection of the microcosm, and the microcosm is a reflection of the cosmos. So there is no division between Godhead and us. We are the same. We are the one, and we live in a joyous universe, joyous world created by our divine Father God. So here essentially he blends philosophy philosophical explanation of the creation of universe with the scientific theory of evolution. At the same time, he talks about there is no duality, no dichotomy between science and our Indic spirituality. Both can exist, both can coexist side by side, and they can complement each other. So it is a very unique philosophical realization on his part, and he shared this unique vision with us. So this is my reflection on the essay, The Cosmos, the Macrocosm by Swami Vivekananda. Hope you will find this video very helpful for your exam purpose and for your simple understanding of the lecture. If you like this video, please like and share, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more updates. Stay tuned. Bye.